Hello guys, welcome to episode 26 of From Then to Now, the series where we take WWF and WCW all the way from 1992 all the way up to the modern day. And in this episode, we are back on our major events because it is Clash of the Champions 19. Main evented by Sting vs Vader for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, the in-ring debut of Randy Savage, plus much more. I'm excited for this show and I hope you guys are too. If you are, let me know in the comments down below by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing for more TEW content. And let me know what you think down below. Let's get right into this show. We kick things off with two all-time tag teams going head to head. Arn and Tully versus the Steiners. And it is Arn and Tully who pick up the victory here when they pin Rick Steiner with a spiked pile driver. Goes 17 minutes, it's a long ass match, but these four can make it work. 80 for Scott, and 80 for Arn, 71 for Tully, 73 for Rick. All four of these guys are phenomenal. This tag team division we're building is insane, especially when we get to our tag team match later on in the show. Whew! Some of the stuff that we are able to do is brilliant. Our commentary team for this show is JR, Dusty, and Tony. No Eric on this show. And yeah, I used the Inspire button today because I thought, might as well, if it's available. Don't think I need it much. And this was penalised due to not having a story only starting on last night, on Saturday. Second match. For the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship, Brian Pillman defeats Marty Jannetty by DQ when Jushin Thunder Liger runs in and attacks Pillman, getting revenge on Pillman for taking him out at whatever the last show was. Last big pay-per-view, Super Brawl, I think. Yeah, at Super Brawl last month. Liger is back. He attacks Pillman. Again, inspiration. This was a storytelling match which Dustin Rhodes was very good at, it seems. Crowd was hot. The low heat for the storyline apparently didn't help. But this gains heat as we come up to what our next pay-per-view is, which I'm not going to reveal the name of because it's a big spoiler for later on. But we are going to have another bit of this story featuring Pillman, Jannetty, and Liger back involved. In the nepotism-based match, Randy Savage defeats Dustin Rhodes in 18 minutes with a flying elbow drop following a lariat from Stan Hansen. The crowd is white hot. Savage gets an 84. God, what would we do with those ratings in WWF right now? Dustin a 61, not bad. Gets a 68 overall. Savage is standing by with Hansen on his side. And they cut a promo straight after together. We are the new world of wrestling. We're going big with this. That's two of them. Let's go straight into our next match. This is a pay-per-view. There's not much angle to really do on this show. Oh, that's two reds at the top. Not great. That's both injuries. As in a great wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, the Miracle Violence Connection defeat La Pareja Del Terror in 12:43 when Steve Williams pins Eddie Guerrero with a backdrop driver. The MVC attacked La Pareja at the end of Super Brawl, well, at the end of their match at Super Brawl, and they have been picking on them every single week since then, either on main event or on Saturday night. But this week on Saturday night, La Pareja Del Terror finally snapped and got steel chairs out and defended themselves. But it came to the match and it just was not enough. The Miracle Violence Connection win the WCW United States Tag Team titles. Now, can I please make a point here? Steve Williams broke his toe, which I assume penalised him for injury. Yes. He was penalised for inconsistency. He was off his game and he still got an 81. Dr. Death might be a miracle worker in this save. But 71 overall, 73 wrestling, 50 crowd. I think La Pareja Del Terror had a nice little run. Wasn't long or anything, but it was nice to give the belts to them. Give Art Bar an actual run in the US. This won't be the last time we see them in a title picture, I'm sure. Thank you, Dusty, I spotted that. Thank you, Dusty, I spotted that, but why is this one a different colour? Oh dear. Semi-main, I believe, as Steve Austin defeats Ricky Steamboat, tapping him out to Hollywood and Vine. I mean, Steamboat carried this match. We're not going to lie about that. This was a Steamboat showcase. Gets an 88 for Steamboat, a 67 for Austin. Paulie Dangerously did some good work at ringside. 78 wrestling, 65 crowd, 81 overall. I'm not going to complain about that. Austin needs wins like this. I want Austin to be getting those 88 numbers, essentially. And I know it's going to take a while for us to get there. And our main event. You've already seen the graphic, and I'm going to put it up again now so you don't see the result. But in a match which goes 27 minutes 35, they have great chemistry. They have a successful creative finish. Gets a 76 overall. Big Van Vader defeats Sting with the Vader Salt after Rick Rude hits Rude Awakening behind the referee's back. This is what Heyman, Dangerously, and Race were discussing. But Vader is your new WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And basically, Sting's been screwed, so Vader and Race, they leave quite quickly and they pose at the top of the ramp. And we cut back to Sting. Rude's run back into the crowd. And Sting gets a microphone. And he says, okay, you told me you're not going to leave me alone. You've proved it here tonight. You want to play this game? I will play a game with you. We were supposed to have a supercard next month. We were just supposed to have an April supercard. It's a bit of fun. Not anymore. We're going to Wrestle War. Get your Dangerous Alliance. 5 of you. Me and 4 of my squadron. And we will see you in War Games. Gets a 72, and we have our first announcement for War Games, and I'm going to announce that right now because I can pretty much tell you who's going to be in the match. It's going to be Rick Rude, Steve Austin, Larry Zbyszko, Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard versus Sting, Dustin Rhodes, Ricky Steamboat, Barry Windham, and Dan Severn's the last guy, yeah. That is your Wrestle War main event. Hold on, let me just put this correct. War Games. It already has enough star power. So what do we get for this show? 76. We keep improving. We're not sliding away like we are in WWF. WCW is doing better right now. Let's go to the post-match. So, straight away, people to address. Ricky Steamboat, great performance. Big Van Vader, great performance. I'm noticing a trend here. And Randy Savage, great performance. Everyone's pleased. Injury, let's see how bad these are. Okay, they're both back. Like, we just won't book Eddie on next Saturday night. That's it. Financially, we made over $250,000. I'll take that. We made $250,000 just in sales. Merchandise is good. Broadcast is doing good. Not bad. Pop. We're going up in the US still, which is great news. I mean, we need to be. We don't want to just be loitering in the 60s. We want to be the biggest company in the world. Both companies do. That's the joy of this save. I legitimately want these companies to be as best as they can. I'm not screwing around to favour one. Despite what it looks like with WCW, I'm legitimately trying with WWF. And let's do a media scrum. Steve Williams injured his opponent with a badly botched move again. It's an issue. I'll talk to him about working safer. Hey, he was a little disappointed about being publicly called out, but the message got through, and he will work harder on his safety over the next coming weeks. Eddie Guerrero, I'm sure it was an off night. Tully Blanchard, we're going to play it by ear. Vader had an off night. He was in the 80s still. Is that an off night for Vader? I'm sure it was a one-off. Randy Savage, I have high hopes for him. I understand that people in the top weren't. Hogan hasn't. You're part of his act. Lex Luger will be leaving. I wish him luck with his future endeavours. Looking at your competition, what do you make about Pat Patterson, the owner of WWF? I am Pat Patterson, the owner of WWF. I can't stand him. And I'm glad the Headhunters are having a good time, because they're not performing on it. I'm not having a good time with them. But what did you guys think of this show? What do you think of War Games announcement? Big announcement. I hope you guys are excited, because I know I am. And I'll see you guys. So it'll be WWF next, as we continue the road to WrestleMania, which will be our next pay-per-view in the save. It's not long until WrestleMania. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.